stream, guys. So just give it a sec. I want this view. Okay, we're live. And we should go to this view. Right, pop out chat.
I need to shift across a bit.
Hello, everyone. Just getting the chatty thing window working properly. Fix that. There we go. We can hear. Yay! Well, that is brilliant. Okay, this is everyone that's going to be mucking around today. Ooh. I can't believe I actually got my computer set up and working. Oh my god. I don't know if you guys have been following me on social media, but this place was completely bare about 12 hours ago. Completely bare. Nothing in here.
It's still looking a little bare than usual.
Oh yeah, it's going through radical changes. I've got rid of that cabinet thing that I made, the crappy cabinet thing. It just looked like an eyesore. I'm trying to be a little bit more, neat. I had a whole bunch of crap underneath all these desks here, like underneath here. And every time you walk into the room, all you'd see is just junk and mess and like synths leaning against other synths and, so yeah. I've
Organised chaos.
Lots to do. Lots and lots and lots to do. We've got 18 people watching, which is a good start. Never complain about that. Okay. And we've got a new guest here, Heinrich, which is JX3D. You probably know him from, being called JX3D in the chat. It's one of my long-time supporters. He's a good man. So make him feel welcome.
Hello, Andrew, by the way.
And we've got Andrew down the bottom, and we've got Marshall down the bottom. It's like the Brady Bunch.
All right, Marshall.
Yeah, how's it going?
Okay. Now, 20 people in the show already, and we haven't even officially started, so that's really good. That's a good start. Last week was completely dead. I don't know what happened then. I'm just putting it down to people just aren't really interested in talking about stuff that isn't related to synths, so we won't do topics like that again. I think it's pretty safe to say. What else? So with news this week, I'm not going to run a normal news segment because I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but there's very little news at the moment. There's just like, someone's done an update and there's a VST out. And that sort of real low news kind of stuff. So what I thought we'd do, because we've got four guests, I thought each one of you guests, and this is impromptu, right? So there's nothing better than what we call an elevator sales pitch, right? So what I would like each of you guys to do in the news segment is to maybe just announce something that you're doing. Anything. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be big or small, and you can just say pass if you want or whatever. It's up to you, right? There's no pressure. So I just thought it'd be fun. Be a good opportunity to plug something that you're doing or talk about something that you're doing. It doesn't have to be a commercial thing. It could be a personal thing. Like for example, with me, I'm redoing my studio. Darren's redoing his studio. So, it can be anything. There's no rules.
Oh, don't go there.
What do you mean don't go there? I've already gone there.
I've been waiting for bits for it for a while. And when Brexit comes, God knows how long it's going to take to get through. So I'm trying to get everything in before the 1st of January in case it's a bit awkward, really. I mean, I know I'll still be able to get things, but it just might take a bit more time and a bit more of a pain.
Yeah. Do you want me to move?
And some other stuff's not arrived.
Do you want me to move you?
Yeah, can you shift us across a bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I can try moving the studio, but I've already started doing that, and I'm not doing that again just to get in frame.
I don't know how good I am at this, but let's see if we can do it. All right, so we need to move you that way like that. And then we need to stretch you out a bit there. Oh,
look at that expand.
and then we need to bring that in a little bit there. Jeez, hey?
Look at that professionalism.
I think we could even bring you even a bit more, actually.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, and you can put me on a proper background now, blue screen.
I was gonna.
I can actually do that. If that
could
blue
be
was
in
a little bit
space.
more solid, I could. Yeah, I can chroma
Picture a
key.
tropical island.
Yeah, because it's definitely in here.
Right. How are we going for time? I'm not keeping an eye on the time, and I should be. We're good.
Let's
Okay,
do
we've
about
got
8 minutes.
About 8 minutes.
How's everyone going in the chat room? Let's just have a quick look at the chatties. I think it's. I always forget which button it is. I think it's this one. Cool. I haven't turned Discord on because we were having some audio issues, so just forget about Discord today. Cool. We've got all the usual people. I'll keep an eye out if there's anyone new in here. Yeah, nice. Right, we're going to kind of stick with this kind of layout, and then we'll jump between people. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm maxed out today, and streaming's working. That's good. What time is it over in Queensland? Andrew, is it getting close to midnight, or is it after?
It
midnight?
is indeed. It is indeed. And it's been a busy day, actually. It's
Wow.
very synthy day, actually.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Well, we got Marcus hasn't been in for a while. Marcus has just joined us. That's good to see. Good to see. And everyone else, of course. I'll introduce all the chatties when we get to the main part of the show, which is in about 5 minutes. I'm just trying to get everyone all settled. This is what the pre-show's for, just calm nerves, move Darren across to the middle, that sort of stuff, you know. Darren needs a bit of a punch. I got that right too. Henrik, everything good with your levels? Just wanted to do a quick sound check with you.
I'm not sure. I'm using the mic in the webcam.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know. That's good. Okay.
Chatties can tell us if any of the levels are a bit low. They can tell us, and I can just pump them up from my end anyway. I can add some dB here. Cool. All right. I'm just looking at my desk right now, and it's like surreal because this was just nothing a few hours ago. I've made it now. As we like to do every week, is we like to get one of these things. Please, I mean, it might be a bit early for you, Marshall, but
yeah, it's probably a little early for that.
You might have to have a coffee or something.
Yeah.
I'm just having a coffee.
So get your glasses and everything ready, and this is also for you guys in the chat as well. We're gonna be having a Christmas cheers a bit later. I might just have a quick taste of that. Oh, that's very nice. Yes, I'll tell you all about what's been going on here, and we can talk about that for a bit. Got a couple of photos I can show you as well. Right, and 5 minutes before the main show. Yes, we do now. So we do have memes. So I've tried to keep all the memes Christmas themed, and we do have a couple of scams. So I reckon that's going to be fun. And I just heard my door close, which means the wife's just gone. Good. All right, now we can misbehave. Beautiful.
I can hear cricket. Is that you, Rams?
Yeah, I can knock the crickets out if you want.
That might even be on
No,
my
it's
end
not.
as
Just
well.
so I know it's not mine.
I've got the window
Just
open.
so I know it's not my end. That's all.
Let me see.
Well, there's no chance the window open it. It's not warm.
What do you reckon? 2K? That got rid of it? Or is it 1K?
No.
Right now. It might be 4K.
How about now?
You sure it's not coming from my audio?
Let me check.
4K's almost got it.
What about now?
It's like a hearing test, this.
Let me check.
Find the frequency of the crickets.
There's definitely crickets
Still hear,
here.
the only problem is you're going to...
I'll EQ my voice. There
It's
we go.
not an issue, I was just...
Okay. We 3 minutes to go. Let me
but
just
you
do
sound a bit...
a quick sound check.
Yeah. You've dropped out completely there, Rands. You sound a bit muffled.
Testing. Oh yeah, that sounds terrible. Testing.
Test. There we go. You probably want to test. Just leave it. We'll put up with it. Right. We'll just put up with it. I don't think it's that bad. I probably could put a noise suppressor on. But I did have one on. Plugins. Yeah, I do. I got a noise suppressor on.
Don't put a noise suppressor on, because then you won't hear me talking.
All right, 2 minutes to go. Crickets are fine, better than tumbleweed last week. Yes, I know. Last week was a bit of a tumbleweed week, wasn't it? It was a bit of a tumbleweed week. Well, you know, you can't be perfect every week. Right, 2 minutes to go. Shall we? Hot summers, yeah. Oh. I'll tell you what. The kids just finished doing school last week, and we all had that like end of school assembly, which the parents go to, and they all sang Christmas in Australia, which is like another version of Jingle Bells, and they talk about being in a rusty Holden Ute and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's all about hot weather and thongs and eskies and all that sort of stuff. Right. Okay,
we're on cold weather and lockdowns.
We're going to hit this button. See what happens. Merry Christmas. Welcome to another show, and I'm not leaving this on. I'll be sweating absolutely profusely. Yes, it's come to that time of the year where we are all feeling festive, and some of you are feeling nice and cozy and warm. You've probably got a nice little fire going, and other parts of the world, we're absolutely roasting in really, really hot weather. So it doesn't really matter. We're all going to be celebrating at the same time. And a big, massive hello to, if you're new here, I doubt very much that you are, because most people that come to this show are regulars. We're going to say good day to all of you in a sec. But before we do, let's have a little look at who we've got this week. Yes. Look at all these cool people here. We'll start with, at some sort of randomness, I'm just going to press a button and see who comes up. Oh, Henry, you're first. How are you, mate? And say good day to everyone.
Yeah, good day. I'm from Denmark. I'm Henrik. Hi.
Fantastic. And what do you got behind your head there? in the rack? Is that
That's two mixers, two 16-channel mixers. Yes, I just had to remember.
yeah? What make are they?
DeepMind.
DeepMind, yep.
What?
What make are the mixers?
Yeah, DeepMind. Behind the mixers.
No, what make is the mixer?
Oh, it's Thoman's T-Mix.
Okay, never seen them before.
So it's just some cheap equipment till I buy a big one, but I haven't got the space because it's all in a bedroom. So I have to make everything as compact as possible.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Awesome.
This
Well,
was
it's
an Argon 8.
Argon 8, yeah. We joined the club. Beautiful. Yeah. Did you find it went in okay with the rack? With the rack ears? Because a few people had some issues with the rack ears.
Yeah, yes, it suits fine.
Beautiful.
And it's in this rack where the screws are not static, but they can be moved. It's perfect because I can have a place where I can rest my fingers while turning the knobs on both units, and that's great.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, awesome, fantastic. All right, now who else can we randomly hit a button on? Let's try this one. Who's that? Andrew.
Hey everybody! It's good to be back. It's been a while, and it's yeah. What can I say? It's been a busy day, which has been really good. I actually got to jam. Actually went out and jammed with people today, which is actually a lot of fun. But yeah, no, it's good to. It's the end of the year. It's good to actually get into the whole celebratory mood now. It's actually that's what I'm actually. I'm actually on holidays, and I'm really enjoying the fact that I can now just relax for the end of the year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Except that I've got family coming, so you're kind of relaxing.
Yeah. You can relax when they're not here.
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic. All right. We also should probably say hello to Marshall. It's good to have you back, Marshall. How's your week been?
Yeah. Oh, it's been good. It's I'm on vacation for the rest of the year, so I'm pretty happy about not having to worry about work, and I can do a lot more synth stuff through the rest of the year here. So
Brilliant. And in terms of synth stuff, are we talking about just your own personal tracks, or are you talking about the other stuff that you do, or a bit of both?
yeah, kind of a little of everything. I got some stuff for the YouTube channel ready to go. I've just been a little busy, the rush to get everything done for work and everything. I've been a little delayed in getting some videos out for the YouTube channel, but got some stuff coming up. Got some music that I need to work on as well, and then I'm doing a cool thing with Reason 2.0 or 2.5 on an old Windows 95 machine that I'm planning to do some stuff with too, so that'll be fun.
Fabulous. I'm going to be excited to see that. And last but not least, never least, is Darren. How are you, mate? How's your week been? I know you're struggling there with lockdown and all that stuff.
Well, if you forget lockdown, then yeah, the week's been okay. It's not bad at all. Still doing this. This is not going to be displayed till next year, since we've only got a week anyway to go. But yeah, not bad. Things okay. Like I say, we're just in a bit of a mess with the old lockdown stuff over here. So other than that, yeah, I'm fine. And nice hair colour for this Christmas.
Yeah, definitely.
Since Inky's not on, I thought I'd get a bit of pinky purple out.
Yeah, it's matching my patch cables. Fair enough. Okay, who else have we got? We've got this magical button here that we can show everyone. Now that we've got through all of the hellos, we might say hello to the chatties. Big, massive thank you to a couple of people who have been sneaky and putting the super chats in, and we'll start with Wagoo. Thanks for the super chat, Wagoo, and Merry Christmas to you. thank you for being part of the channel as well. We appreciate you coming on into chat. And also big thank you to Mark for the super chat as well. So very, very generous. Thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated. Now that'll go to the beer fund. As you can see, there is already some beer here. But there's always room for more. Now, let's start off with saying hello to everyone. Axel Soft got the Guernsey this week. Well done, mate. And then we go down to Finn. Big hello to you guys. Andrew Brooks is there. We couldn't quite squeeze Andrew into the show. I would have loved to have had Andy in, but I've only got space for 4, unfortunately, with the licensing. But I don't want to be giving that company any more money, especially considering I don't make any. Azio Head, big hello to you. Corrosive Abuser, good to see you. Merry Christmas to everyone I'm saying hello to, by the way. Chris is there from Synth Sound. Good on you, mate, and good to see you. I know it's nice and early in your neck of the woods as well. Who else? Marcus is there. Good on you, Marcus. Haven't seen you for a little while. Good to see you back. What else we got? Said hello to Mark already. Sasquatch, good to see you, buddy. Happy Christmas and all that stuff. Human Errors there. Max there. Who else? It's a good little turnout this week. It's excellent. Anyone else I'm missing? Scrolling. I don't want to miss anyone because I think it's worth going through everyone this week and just being careful, making sure we don't miss anyone. And a lot of people... Oh, Howard's there. Big hello to you, Howard. This one pops in. And anyone else? How far have I gone? I'm nearly down the bottom. I think we've got them all. Oh no, JP Page 2 has just snuck in. Howard's done a super chat. Wow, that was very generous, Howard. Thank you very much for the super chat. Much appreciated. That will definitely go towards something synthy for the channel. Definitely. Yes, JP Page 2, we saw you. We saw you sneak in. Yes, you got there just in time. Right. Well, for those who don't know, it's been a bit crazy here in the... I call my studio, it's called the Geekery, if anyone didn't know. It's a really stupid name for a studio, but hey, we're going to go with it. And this place was all completely pulled apart. You can hear it's a bit echoey and a bit reverby at the moment. That's because I haven't put any treatments back up. So at the moment it's just pretty bare, and you can see that I've got a few things plugged back in. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of rearranging. The reason why this happened is because the wife wanted some new carpets in the house, and I put a couple of photos up of what the carpet looked like in this room, and it wasn't good. So it had to happen, and yeah, big job pulling all my gear out and then putting it all back again. Not happy. But at the same time, I also had to do all the kids' bedrooms and the master bedroom and all that. So it was a big gut clean out here, and it's, you know, it is what it is, and it's worth it. So one thing I love is the smell of new carpet. It just smells like a new room. It gives you that sort of vibe, gives you that sort of energy to sort of start things new, and who knows, it might even be a path to something creative. Who knows? We'll see what happens anyway. Okay, now for those who are living under a rock, we usually do a couple of regular segments. We're going to do something different with news this week, but first, as we always do, we'll start off with Funny Side. Well, Funny Side this week, we're going to try and keep it Christmassy themed, and because of that, they're really not that funny. But I'll try. We'll see what happens. Okay, first one off the rank is... if you're into synths, this is how you would decorate your tree. Of course, you know, there's no better way to decorate it than with some patch cables. Very colourful. Yeah, I'm not sure if that kind of works. Maybe they could have gone with those patch cables that light up. I don't know. Anyway, that's the first one. All right, next one. Where do we go? Oh, yes. This one here. A lot of people would have seen this. Great to see Mary on keyboard and Joseph on vocals on this year's Christmas stamp. Yeah, I've often wondered what was going on there. Anyway, Like I said, they're not that good. Okay, what else have we got? Oh yes, this one. This is a crazy. Everyone should know this one. Switched on Santa. Hey, look at the expression on his face. This is amazing. So yeah, there's a couple of golden oldies there. White Christmas, 200 Christmas. The little drummer boys there. Couple of favorites, and I noticed that this is the Merriest Moog synthesizer plays Christmas favorites. Yes. I don't have a sample. I reckon it would have been awesome if I got a sample, but I probably would have got a strike for copyright on that, no doubt.
Do you reckon, Rance, that should be the littlest drummer machine boy?
Yeah.
You know,
it would have probably. I reckon you could have done some parody with that. Definitely.
You could.
Yeah. I love his belt. That's a massive belt. You wouldn't want to bend over and pick your beer up with that belt. You'd do some damage. Right. Let's move along. Oh yes, this one. I would probably say this one's probably the better of the humour. Aretha Franklin's. Yes. If you didn't get that, I feel terribly sorry for you.
It's great.
I searched high and low for memes this week, and that's all I could come up with, everyone. So I do apologise if they were really cheesy. Anyone have a favourite this week? Christmas memes? Synth related, of course.
I think the tree needed to be the Eurack with the blinking lights.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Did anyone notice my Akai Force? I don't know if it's probably not really coming through on... No, it's not really showing, is it?
Yeah.
It's a bit bright. But there's actually a Christmas tree. Well, it was on the graphic at the start. This graphic, where is it? This one. There you go. So that's what it looks like when the lights are turned down. But they're actually, the darker lights are clips playing, and the lighter green is the... Anyway, I had fun doing that. So, bad luck if you don't like it. Right, now, moving right along. Marshall, I really apologise, mate, for such cheesy memes this week. They're terrible.
I love the cheese.
You
I'm
love
all
the
good
cheese?
with the cheesiness.
You're good with the cheese?
Yeah.
You want some bickies to go with the cheese? Want some crackers?
Sure. Some wine.
Some wine, yeah, beautiful. Geosynth, big, massive thank you, Jamie, for the super chat, and also Merry Christmas to you too, mate. Thank you very much. And also Human Error, big, massive thank you for your super chat as well. My pleasure to all the people who are thanking. It's not just me, it's these people that join every week as well that make this a fantastic show that it is. Right, we will move on to the next segment, which is news. Now, are you guys ready? So what we're going to do is we're going to play the stinger just to give you guys a little second to catch your breath. And I'll start with Darren because Darren's a regular. And he's just going to, you can talk about anything. You're announcing something, whether it's that you picked your nose today and you picked a winner or whatever. It's up to you what you want to announce, right? Anything. Any personal, commercial, everything goes here. And if you want, I can get websites up or YouTube videos up, anything. All right, let's go with this button. This is going to be the best news we've ever done on this show. Here we go. Yes, we're going to start with news all the way live from the DTH studio. Over to you, Darren.
Hello. I tried playing with a bastard on the park bench.
Oh yes, that was crazy funny. That was.
Right.
Did anyone try and bash you?
Well, let's not go there. Yes, the studio is in slow rebuild by the look of it. We're having a lot of hassle over here, so things are taking the time. So the studio will be unveiled next year, hopefully sometime in January.
Right.
I'm doing a collaboration track with someone. I can't say who yet, which will be coming out. Well, it'll have to be next year. Dada did me a video to one of my tracks that I released about a month or two ago, so I might put that up over Christmas. And I've got three big remixes that I'm trying to work on videos for, but the way things are over at the moment, it's not easy to do video work. So hopefully they'll be coming out at some point in the first half of the year. I don't know. Can't be sure on that because we're going to be in lockdown again by mid-January, the way it's going. So things are a bit tight on that. But yeah, so studio reveal at some point in January, I hope.
Fantastic. And tracks coming out as well?
Always. I know there wasn't one out last week, but I had such a right pain with the studio. I couldn't get anything up. So I think what I'll do tomorrow, if I've got a chance, I'll put a little bit of a track with some footage of the studio things that I've done, but just sneaky bits. You won't be able to see everything, but you'll just get a clue of what I'm doing. And like I say, I might put Daz's video to one of my tracks up. I might just remix the track a little bit actually, so it's a bit different from when it came up earlier. But yeah, I might put that up over Christmas. And I've got loads of tracks in the pipeline that I can start finishing off, as well as the 3 big remixes. But like I say, they're going to come out when I've managed to get some decent video for them. So, but yeah, quite a lot happening.
Fantastic.
Oh, and an album as well.
And an album.
Mini album that I'm.
Anything else?
Mini album that
Moving studios, playing with Bastles on the park bench,
No.
making an album. Jeez.
No, I'm just going back to Bastel work.
Like there's a career there somewhere.
But other than that, yeah, I know. Other than that, yeah, park benches all the way.
Well, I definitely think you've raised the bar for this segment. That was really well done, and impromptu as everything. Just letting everyone know, this was completely impromptu. None of these guys rehearsed this, apart from maybe a thought that popped in their head for a couple of seconds. Right, who are we going to go next? We're going to have a go with, I reckon I'll go with Andrew. Because Andrew, you probably are a little bit... No, that's not Andrew. There's Andrew there. You're a little bit more rehearsed on the show, so we'll go with you next.
I don't know about rehearse, but I'll go with this. All right. I actually have news, believe it or not. A lot of the MIDI docs that I've been working on actually got released yesterday, and they're actually live for public display. And they so I think in the last 12 hours or something, you can actually go to MIDI.org and you can download, there's about 9 new documents, 9 new specifications that have just sort of come out. So I'm not the only person obviously working on those. There's a whole group of people, but they're things that we've been working on all year. So that's been kind of exciting. That sort of literally, it's one of the big things that I'm very excited about because of how much I've been working on them for so long. So there's some great stuff about that. The other thing that I'll be doing is, if I have time over Christmas, I picked up an old SID chip kit, which was half finished, and so I'll hopefully have time and put that together and solder it all back together and figure out how it actually all works. If I can figure out, unfortunately, some of the firmware is a bit hard to track down now. I've got to try and faff around with it, but that'll be a bit of fun. And then hopefully over this sort of break, I'll actually get a chance to I've got to pull this whole bench out and actually rearrange this whole studio, which is why it still looks like the mess it's been in for 6 months. And so hopefully I'll actually get a time to actually set this up so I can actually start making music. And the other thing that I'm planning to do over this break, which who knows if I'm going to have time, is I've been picking up all these old Sonic keyboards, which I've really started to really get into and love a lot more. And so I'm hopefully going to get a chance to do some rebuilds on those and actually start getting into, listening to those, which are really, really interesting synths considering how old they are. So,
1986.
86 for the ESQ1 and Sonic VFX as well.
Yeah.
So, really, but I got more parts for them. Yeah, really good. And just really a joy to kind of listen to. So, anyway, yeah, so that's going to be my Christmas break, and I'm really hoping that I'll probably get through about half of it, I reckon.
Oh, that's awesome. And just letting everyone know that Andrew is also in Australia as well, but he's not in the same part of Australia as me. He's on the complete opposite side of Australia. So you might as well be in a different country because there's, what is it, about a 5-hour plane flight?
6.
It's quite a long way between our cities.
Although we'd like to both lock down the borders a lot.
Yes, we do.
We have that in common. If nothing else, we have that in common.
Yes. Oh, that's good.
But yeah.
Good. Well done. You did well. So I'd probably rank you slightly better than Darren. No, I'm just kidding.
Poor Darren.
Just kidding.
I've got fair play.
Well,
it does look good.
You didn't have a Santa hat, though. All right, who are we going to do now? We'll do Marshall next. Marshall, are you ready? Set.
I'm ready.
Go.
How's it going, guys? Got some news. Going to be doing a little bit of this over here. See if I can switch this over. This is my Windows 98 PC. Wow. This is that Reason 2.5 track. And it's actually the Axel F.
Yep.
From Beverly Hills Cop. So I actually made this track in 2004. So I'm going to be featuring this on my YouTube channel, hopefully pretty soon, before the end of the year. And this was a lot of fun to kind of go back and rediscover some of my old stuff from Reason back in the day. And that'll be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we have over here the Prophet 10. And I'm going to be doing some stuff. You can see the blue ARP there, kind of a little bit on the left.
Ooh.
And going to be doing some Prophet 10. Oh, yeah. And going to be kind of doing some stuff with Blue ARP and the Prophet 10 and the ARP 2600. So that'll be a lot of fun as well.
Wow. That's a lot. You're going to be busy.
That's a lot, yeah.
You're going to be busy.
I'm going to be super busy.
So,
yes.
So what impresses me, Marshall, is that you managed to hold on to those computer files for that many years, and
I know
the hard drive didn't crash or something stupid happened like that. So that was well done.
Well, I did have a data loss incident like a long time ago. So there was other stuff as well that I had that did get destroyed at some point, but somehow some of the earliest stuff I made, still I was able to hang on to for all these years for some reason, but.
Amazing. Yeah. Excellent. Fantastic. I like that. That was good. I'd say top marks for the news segment. All right, Henrik, are you ready to rock and roll? I know it's the first time on the show. Let's go.
Thank you. Well, I have 3 weeks of holiday, so the plans are to get this 6 units rack beneath the screen. On the table and a rack on each side, 6 units too. And then, yes, everything is going to be turned 180 degrees. And, it will take time.
Yes,
so
I feel your pain.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I hope 3 weeks is enough, but probably not.
Yeah, right. Well, the whole purpose of that is so that you've got more usable space. Is that what you were trying to tell me before the other day?
Yeah, we're getting rid of the closets. I don't know where we will place the clothes then, but that's a secondary problem.
You don't need clothes.
No.
Just cover yourself up with synths.
Yeah. But the wife needs to be here too. So it's a bedroom. It doesn't look like it, but it is.
How big is your room, Henrik?
This room is 4 by 3 meters, I think.
That's reasonable.
It's an okay size, but the bed is big too, and we have other furniture in here. So I only have a corner for this.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think my room is 2 meters by 2 meters. Well, just a little bit over 2 meters by 2 meters.
Yeah.
So yeah, similar size. Yeah, it's a pain getting
Yeah.
things to fit
So-
in then.
Yeah. So each time I look for a new synthesizer, I think of something which can be in a rack, but there isn't much.
Yeah,
So-
just to
so-
sort of save space. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's really good. And do you also find that you also like those little desktop sort of modules as well, because they can sort of be shifted around?
Not much because they take a lot of space on the tables. I have a Medusa here and
Yep. Saw that.
Digitech and such stuff, but and on this table there's a Force and a Hydra. Beneath the table there's another rack. On top of that there's a I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
Like a key step. So everything is compact here. And
But that's good because
Yeah, I know what it's like.
that's your workflow. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
I like that. Fabulous. You did well. You did really, really well. Very, very impressed. Actually, we might actually have to keep on with that idea. Actually, better than talking about boring gear that everyone talks about on all the other synth shows. We'll just talk about ourselves and all the cool stuff we're up to. Excellent. Right. Well, okay, I do have some news, and obviously I've already talked about it, but I thought, why not? Shall I show some photos? Because everyone's probably wondering, what the hell was Rand's talking about? Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this was what the carpet looked like before it got removed. So you can see it's all old and in terrible color, and it's all bunching and, stained and don't know, God knows what else is on it. The photo probably doesn't show everything, but that's not really that little, that space. It's actually about, it's about 5 meters wide. And that's what it looked like after I pulled everything out. And then the new carpet went in, and that's what the new carpet looked like after everything went in. So nice, different sort of like a dark grey sort of colour. And definitely kind of makes the white walls look more brighter. So it kind of brightened the room up, believe it or not. It's a bit hard to see in that photo, I guess. And what else? So I did a couple of little shots as I started putting things back. So you can see my desks. They're just those IKEA Lindemann. I think they're you can get them anywhere in the world, those IKEA desks. Complete with all the cracks and stuff. And where's the other one? This was kind of getting closer towards me finishing this afternoon. Obviously nowhere near finished. Putting all the blinds down, and you can kind of get an idea of the space. Now, obviously, I still hadn't finished tidying up cables. They're still hanging down underneath and things like that. But that's kind of getting closer to where I want it to be. Anyway, that's my news. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that boring slideshow. I went on holidays. Have a look at my pics.
You didn't decide to put the carpet, keep it for soundproofing or anything. Go old school.
The carpet just, burn it. Flame frost. Yeah, no, bad memories, that carpet. Carpet's about 12 years old, and it's been through, I've got a 17-year-old son and a 12-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. So it's been through like massive sort of childhood mishaps over the years, our carpet here. So that's why it got replaced. The main reason, anyway. All right. Okay. We do have some more segments to run. Now, the next one is this one. Even though it's Christmas, there's still someone out there who's going to try and scam you. And I've got a beauty this week. A beauty. This one. Yes, I was actually really impressed when I came across this. This is a real scammer. Medoro. I don't know if you guys use Facebook, but and obviously right behind me over here, I've actually got one of those. So obviously I wasn't going to go and buy one. But for $49 US, you could get yourself a Poly N tracker, and maybe you might get a photo or something in the mail. I don't know what you're going to get for that, but Polyend were like announcing big on their Facebook page, like, don't buy it. It's a scam, and I actually didn't know about it, and I actually discovered it the opposite way around. So I saw this, knew it was a scam, so I took a screenshot, and then I just happened to go and check out the Polyend page to see what they were saying about it, and yeah, they were very, very vocal about it. Not too happy. Now, this is not the first time.
You probably get a disc with the old software, Amiga software.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you could. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or just a little floppy disk with it on there or something. So the other thing that I wanted to mention too is, so this is not the first time I've seen this. I think I mentioned it on the show a year ago or whatever. There was the Noodler by Creative Labs. They had the same scam. Don't think it's obviously a different name. They change their name all the time, these scammers. But yeah, that was a good one. I thought that was a beauty. Okay.
Yeah, Artifon's Orba also had that as well, I believe. I saw that one not that long ago.
Yeah,
there's been quite a few of them, and they're not just for the music stuff, but they're everywhere through Facebook. I can't believe that they're allowed on.
I reckon they'd catch a few people. I reckon they would.
Oh yeah, they have to, because especially people who go, I wasn't expecting it, or I don't know the industry well enough. Like, I've seen them for all kinds of things, and you just sit there and you go, yeah, you can see why people get caught out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
getting a bit of noise coming from your end, Marsh. I'm not sure what it is. It's gone now.
From my note?
Yeah, it's stopped now. Oh, like a noise gate. Okay, cool. All right, beautiful. Right, next one we've got is this one. Fismo. Talking about in Sonic. Let me see if I can make that bigger for you. Hang on, I've got to scroll. There we go. 7,000, a bit over 7,000 US plus postage. You might as well say a better part of $7,300 or $400 there for
what?
A Sonic Fismo with hard case inspected. What I want to know is what the hell does that mean? With hard case inspected. Sorry, my mind kind of went to the gutter pretty quickly. But I actually had no idea what that meant, and maybe someone in chat can tell us what that means. But anyway, this auction had finished, and I don't know whether it got sold or not. That one I couldn't tell, but there was some interesting comments on a forum. I can't remember which forum it was. What I found this, where they were saying that you could probably buy about 10 of these for that price. That was probably the sort of going rate for a Fismo. And I thought Fismo's worth a bit more than $700 US, but yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Gentlemen, who has got a Fismo here? Anyone got a Fismo? Or had a Fismo? Nope.
I hadn't even heard of it till just right now. So.
I don't know what it is.
In Sonic.
Yeah, I had heard of it.
Yeah,
I
remember when they came out.
When they first came out.
They were digital. Yeah. They were a digital synth. So VA type affair, and a pretty interesting sound. Probably a bit of menu diving. That's probably what let it down. It had a bit of a following. People did. There was this kind of Fismo love corner, but I don't think it was very big. It was kind of like a small corner. A lot of people didn't like.
I still have the Mirage. It's a great sampler. Still, the keyboard is
around what year did that come out?
90s.
85, 6.
Okay,
92, something like that.
No, it was later than that. I think it was about 98. Was it?
I thought it was 90s.
No, it was before 98. 96 or 7.
Okay, I'm telling you right now, it came out in 1998. There you go.
Okay, cool.
So
I got an early one.
Okay, let's tell everyone a little bit of specs about the Fismo, and we'll get that nice scam graphic up while we're doing this, just to sort of make everyone feel real happy about themselves. Right, it's a 48 voice polyphony with oscillators, 4 megabytes of 16-bit internal wave ROM featuring transwaves created through digital synthesis and resynthesis technologies. 2 oscillators for each of the 4 presets, a total of 8 simultaneous and 58 waveforms. It's got 8 LFOs. This is what Ensoniq were good at doing, this sort of stuff. 7 waveform choices, can sync, arpeggiate it, or an external MIDI clock. Filter, it had, it's all digital, so this was all sort of 4 digital, type filters. Resonant, low pass, band pass, 4-pole, non-resonant, 2 low pass, 2 high pass, 3 low pass, blah, 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 blah. Keep going, right? So just a whole bunch of filters. 41 digital effects with what they call VLSI 24-bit effects. Now that apparently was what made this synth sound good. It was kind of like pretty cheesy sort of back sound, and then you just laid the effects on it. Quite nice, apparently. 61 semi-weighted keys with velocity and channel pressure sensitive, 4 programmable key ranges and possible sound. Nothing mentioned about aftertouch. Now, Ensoniq were notorious for having decent aftertouch on their keyboards, so maybe that's a bit of an anomaly there. Memory, 128 ROM sounds up to 128 RAM, 64 presets, produced in 1998, and there is like I said before, there is actually a Fismo users group. So if you do want to go and buy that, you can buy that one for $7,000. Winning. Almost as winning as this.
Ergonomic chairs, 4 of them. What do you want? 180. He's dreaming.
Dad, 450.
But jousting sticks. Tell him he's dreaming.
Yes, that ends our scams of the week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, we shall go back. So we are having fun this week. Look, you notice that I've let my hair down. I don't have any hair, but I've let it down anyway. Less care factor this week. Let's go to the Chatties. We should find out what the Chatties are up to. They all seem to be busy. Inky's snuck in. I noticed Inky wasn't in earlier, so good to see Inky. Tom Lyle, big hello to you. Says his work's great. We'll have to tell us a little bit more about that. Native VS is there. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so it looks like the Fismo's got caused a bit of a fizz. Bad pun. I won't be doing the puns, but you can, I'll be here all day. Anyway, in terms of that sort of stuff, I just kind of unbelievable. I find how people sort of try and get away with those sort of sales every week. But yeah, it's from Japan, so what do you guys expect? Right, well, we have finished all the regular stuff, and guess what? We haven't set a topic because it's Christmas. We can just talk about Christmas stuff, right? We haven't, there's no, corporate guest or anything like that, right? So, why don't we go to the Chatties and see what the Chatties would like to ask us? Let's do a ask us anything. Let's do that, right? Ask us anything. I don't even know why that Grey Wolf comment's there. I'll have to clear that somehow. Where is it? Socials. I've lost it. I can't find it now. Anyway, we'll just have to put up with that. Okay, ask us anything. If you do want to ask us something, make sure you put my name at Ramsey in the chat so that I can see it. And then whoever you want to ask the question to after that. And beautiful. Now, while we've got that launched, I think what we'll do is we'll go back to us. Marshall, last week I did the show. It was a it was a flop, right? It was terrible. I don't know why, but so what happened was we did a poll on my YouTube channel about a month or so ago, and the second most common asked requested show that I do a show on was, can I show my streaming setup here, which was nothing to do with synthesizers. Obviously, it's to do with cameras and stuff like that. And then, can you hear the crickets? That was the audience that we got for that. Now, I know I'm picking on you, Marshall, because I know you work in the industry, right? So you kind of feel my pain, right? So,
yep,
it's important for us to actually know how to do this sort of stuff. Maybe not to the level of you, Marshall, or myself. I mean, I work in the photographic industry, so it might not be to that level, but it is important that we do actually kind of take time out to actually learn a bit of this stuff, and it's a good way for us to get our brand across, or if we're musicians, get yourself out there in social media, and learning a little bit about this does help. So,
yep.
it might be one of those retrospective type shows that you do where people go back and watch at another time when they're bored, when they're extremely bored.
Well, I can tell you the whole streaming thing. Like I've been doing streaming and since like 2009, and it was kind of like when the podcasting stuff kind of started getting kind of big. So we kind of went in that direction. At the time, YouTube would only allow like 10 or 15 minute long videos, and we were doing kind of more long form type podcasting and streaming like we would stream it live on my website, and then we would publish it to an RSS feed later. And it's really just crazy how it's come such a long way. Anybody with a camera and a microphone, or even just you can just use your phone, and you can start doing stuff, which is pretty cool, because back in the day it was not easy to do. So I think that's pretty neat how that's all evolved.
And you've got, your setup there, you've got a pretty elaborate sort of setup now where you can switch cameras and as you were sort of showing before. So it's taken a while to get to that, hasn't it? So that's kind of something that people kind of don't realize. Like, we don't just arrive there day one.
Yeah, it's almost like I imagine it kind of like how like a local news station does things, right? Like you've got multiple cameras and you've got somebody. Usually it's yourself because you're doing it by yourself, but you can do your camera switching and stuff like that. So you're kind of like the producer, the host, and you're kind of doing everything all on your own.
Love it. Beautiful. Fantastic. Oh, we can hear some beer or something being poured. I don't know. Was that a beer or was that a coffee? It was tea, okay.
Tea.
It wasn't a big stein or something, was it? Oh, he's got milk now. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So one of the things I thought I would talk about briefly is kind of something that kind of happens now when you're doing a studio strip down and you're putting all your gear back. One of the things that kind of happened with me is I kind of had this little thought, well, I've got a lot of stuff. I didn't enjoy having to move all that stuff, right? And it does weigh on you a bit, like, why do I need all this stuff? Do I really need it? So right now I'm going through this dilemma where I love all my stuff. It's got an emotional connection to me. I'm not like a hoarder or anything like that, but there's a great show in the US about hoarding houses.
A hoarder.
Yeah, but one of the things that kind of grated on me was the fact that there was a lot of stuff, and a lot of it had sat in a shelf, in a cupboard, for a long time, and had been used. And I don't even know if I plug it in if it still works. So that sort of dilemma. I should be probably thinking about moving that on, and I'm kind of starting to get a bit of energy behind that, which I don't think I've ever had before. I kind of always been a bit scared, a bit timid with that. So I do kind of feel like this kind of setup here, where it's a little bit more minimalistic, is going to sort of attribute me to being a bit more functional and a bit more sort of focused on producing the sounds that I want to produce, as opposed to sort of having too much stuff around me that will just overwhelm me. So that was kind of the thought anyway. I just thought I'd hit you guys with that. Just, has anyone, like Darren, you've moved recently, Andrew, you've moved recently. Has that kind of hit you as well? We'll start with you, Darren.
Yeah, in a way it has. I've kit that I've been stuck around and I've pulled out and I've gone, I don't even remember even never using it on any track, to be honest. And it's like, do you really want to keep it? And it's getting that sort of, that sort of mentality to, if you've not used it in the last 3 or 4 years, then it's probably likely you're not going to use it. So get rid of it, free up space, or even buy something that you really want to, not just because you like what you see. With having a small studio, and I think when you've got a small studio, you sort of realise that you can't just go and buy everything that looks good and you want, because it ain't going to fit in and you're not going to have enough room to get what you do want. So yeah, I've come across that, and there's bits of kit that probably won't come back in the studio because I've not used it, and it's like, but I do understand the part of I can't get rid of it because I just might want to use it at one point. So yeah, I know what you mean. I'm in that situation, but I have a small studio, so I suppose I have less places to put kit that I don't use. So it's either got to go out or be used, I think.
I'm considering
We go.
only having things connected which needs to be connected, and then keep all the old gear under the bed or somewhere, and then if I need that synthesizer, then I take it out and use it, and put it away again when I don't use it. Perhaps that's the way to do it, because everything can't be connected all the time. It's not possible.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We're doing a small studio. I want everything to be connected, but like you say, with it being so small, it just cannot physically do that. Even running a wire or audio cable, if I have a mix on one side, even though it's a small room, it's the amount of wiring to do it, So yeah, I understand that.
But I can't get rid of it. I can't do that.
Well, I'm on that sticky situation where do I or don't I get rid of it? I haven't brought myself to do it yet. I think Ramsey's almost there, but I will not.
Regret it.
When I start, I'll do the same. And while I can still keep it stored without it becoming a problem, I'll be okay. But as soon as there's nowhere to put it, then I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to start being brave, I think.
Oh, you're muted, Brad.
I was just saying, it's almost like you feel a little bit guilty too, don't you? Like you're thinking to yourself, I should move that on because I haven't used it. And then the guilt comes. Oh, maybe I shouldn't.
It looks at you and goes, really, don't do that.
It has a really cute voice. Please don't tell me. That's not cute.
No,
Something like that.
I disagree. I disagree. I think.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. I buy and sell a lot because I get curious, but I don't keep a lot. I get rid of a lot of stuff because it just feels like clutter and it weighs on me. And I just go, to me, it's the opposite. It's not just I'll put it there and it, it's good to come back to. I actually start to stress because I've got this thing that I'm not using, and I'll often try and find other people who can't get access to stuff, or they, it's expensive for them or whatever, and try and pass it on to them if they want it, obviously. But, like I've got things that I pick up, I fix it up, and I'll pass it on to people if I can, because I want more people to actually experience the stuff. I want more people to actually have access to synths, and not everyone can afford a brand new synth, because they're expensive. So I really want to pass it on, but generally I declutter a lot. When I moved here, I got rid of about half my stuff, and I haven't regretted any of it. And there's probably another half of stuff to go that I have no interest in keeping whatsoever. There's a couple of pieces I will always keep. Like I'll always keep my Nord Lead 1. That's the only sentimental piece that I have. But everything else is just got to go. If it's not going to get used, I don't want it. And I won't come back to it either. Because 90% of the time, I can get a similar sound with the other gear that I'm already using anyway. It's very... I know that certain synths have a certain sound, and that's great, but generally you can get something pretty close with other gear. So I get rid of it. And then I can focus on the gear that I do keep and learn it properly. So, yeah, I picked up a Poly 800 the other day, played with it, fixed it up, got rid of it 2 days ago because I just went, no, not 2 days ago, yesterday, because I just wasn't ever going to use it properly. I wasn't going to use it in any tracks. So let it go. That's why everything looks a bit bare here, because I just don't keep anything.
Yep.
Is that a Behringer compressor there?
Yeah, but that got given to me. So I'm again, I will be passing that on to someone because sorry, my cat's meowing. Because it's no good to me. I won't use it. I'd rather see someone else use it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things that I'm kind of thinking about moving on maybe is my Roland MX1 mixer. And there's a kind of method to the madness with me, and I've got this Presonus mixer that I absolutely love, so that won't be going anywhere because the sound out of that thing is beautiful. But the MX1 was always kind of my like a toolkit mixer that I used to sort of jam with and that. I never really was 100% happy with the quality of it because I always used to get hisses out of the analog channels and ground loop noises and all sorts of bad sort of issues. And I just think that Roland kind of were not quite there perfectly with their design and engineering with that. So that's the bad side. But I overlooked it for many, many years. I even got it repaired once. So I've kept it. I've had it since 2015, I think. So it's been a while. But right now it's sitting right there. And recently I purchased the ADAT modules from Expert Sleepers. So my Eurorack modules are going straight now into my Studio One audio interface as 8 channels. So I've got 8 channels of Eurorack if I need it. Not that I need 8 channels, but that's going straight in. Plus, most of the stuff I do now gets sampled onto my Force. So, and I usually do like one instrument at a time when I'm doing that because you create clips, and then the Force you can use it to jam and things like that. But once they've sampled on the Force, they're little WAV files, and you can then bring them into your Ableton projects and stuff like that. So I don't know if I really need it. So that might be something I'll move on. And
you know that MX1 is how I found your channel.
Yeah, I know. That's
so
that's
your
the
videos
thing.
you did on that.
Yeah, that's the big thing for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you can't sell that now, can you? That's how I found it with the MX1.
Yeah, now you got to keep it, Ramsey. Obviously.
I mean, I know that thing back to front, in and out. So I just about know how to even program it with MIDI, like that mixer. I know back, like I said. So I mean, in that sense, it's done. It's gone through the whole life cycle and process for me, and I've probably got to the point now where it's kind of outlived its use. If that makes sense. So
would you buy it again? Like if you didn't have one, would you go buy one?
No,
that's always the question.
I'd wait for Roland to bring the next version out, which it's always been rumored that they will. I don't know when, but it's been rumored that they will. So, and I kind of want to get rid of mine before that does. It was a bit like I had the same thought like a few years ago with my TR8. I thought, I should sell my TR8, and then literally I just procrastinated on that, and within a few months they brought the TR8S out, and I'm like, should have sold my TR8. And in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't, because now the original TR8s, as long as they've got the 707s and all those other sound sets loaded on them, they're actually worth quite a bit now, because there's a lot of people selling TR8s, but they don't have the full sound sets on them. Mine does. And if you can sell them at actually pretty decent price.
Yeah, there's a lot of people actually that prefer the TR8. I think because of the scatter function.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That, by the way, scatter, that scooper module there is exactly the same as the TR8. Or someone will probably correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same. So,
is that something you might get rid of? Because you said you wasn't using that scatter in the Eurorack much, or if at all.
Yeah, there's a couple of benefits with it other than each actual face feature. So you can go into the software side and make it do other things, like you can make it be an oscillator, or there's a whole. It's all digital, but and on the second side of it too is you can connect USB up to that, and that can actually be a Eurorack source into your MX1 as an actual audio source. So if I kept my MX1 and I wanted to go down that path, Yeah, if I kept it. Yeah. See the dilemmas? Do you see? All right, guys in chat going crazy about all this stuff. So I actually just snuck in a little comment just about 10 minutes ago in chat saying the next topic we're going to talk about is what is your oldest synth that you've got in your possession? And I'm going to start with Henrik. I'll start with you. What is the oldest synth you've got in your possession?
A VL1 Casio. And,
right. Yeah.
And a sequential 6-track. I think that's the oldest.
Yeah. So Casio VL1.
Oh, I have an MKS7 too, a Roland, super quartet.
Yeah. So the VL1 is 1979. So you've actually gone into the 70s there. Just letting you know.
Ooh, great.
Yeah. And what was the other one you said? The
6-track sequential. And
I
Roland
think that might be a bit
MKS7.
older. Yeah, a bit. That might be a bit younger. Sorry. Yeah. Let me just check that one.
Younger, yes, because they have MIDI. So they are from 83
84. 84, that one. According to Vintage Synth Explorer. Yeah,
probably.
there we go. All right. Okay. Marshall, you got some relatively new stuff in yours, I know. But I thought you might have something old there. What's your oldest?
Yeah, most of the synths I have are fairly new. I do have kind of a love for some of the crappy VAs from the 90s. But the oldest synth I have is a JD800, which I think is 1990 or 91.
Yeah. Which is a great synth. That's the Super Saw synth, right?
Oh, the JP8000 is the Super Saw synth.
Oh,
that's from the late 90s.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So this is the one with all the sliders on it. Yeah, okay. Right. 1991.
Yeah, it's like a really beefed up D50 with actual controls on it.
Right.
Because it uses the same kind of sample plus synthesis stuff that they were doing with the D50.
So it's the PCM stuff. Yep.
Yeah. It sounds really cool.
Yeah.
That's an awesome synth. And those things have gotten really expensive. When I bought mine, I bought it for like $600. And now they're I think they're going for around $2,000.
Well, I just hit the look up prices button. Let me just have a look at completed items. We'll see what that comes up with. No, nothing. Here we go. 1,000. Sorry, you're probably looking at 1,000 US for someone that sold one. Yeah.
Oh,
is that
okay?
It's probably because every time someone ships one of them, they break.
Yeah. Oh,
they're notorious for bad key beds and stuff.
There's literally none. It's just parts. It's all parts right now. If you've got a JD 800, according to eBay.
I'm looking on eBay here, $1,599, $2,000, $1,950.
Yeah, but are they asking that? I always click on completed listings because they can ask whatever they want, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's what they sold them for.
Sure. Yeah, these aren't completed. These are just current listings.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's
so
a cool
JD800 is your oldest. It's a 91. It's not bad. So when did you get that new? Is that when you got it, or have you had it for?
No. I bought it years ago, but it's like I said, they weren't super expensive back then. I guess if completed, it's only $1,000, but still, that's almost $400 more than I paid for mine. But they make amazing pads. It's a really good pad synth.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably what the D50 should have been, isn't it? If you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a progression. And then I think from this, you kind of look at like the V-Synth. I kind of think the V-Synth is also kind of like a progression as well. Yeah. In the same kind of thing. Yeah, we had Ben Simpson on last week, and he's got two V-Synths.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, I've got two also. I've got an
Yeah.
original and a GT. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're cool synths.
They are. Fantastic. All right, who wants to go next? What about Darren?
Andrew, but he sells this stuff.
All right, Andrew? Andrew's got we know he's got the Ensoniq ESQ1.
I think that is the oldest one. So I think it's
86.
that and possibly, 86, and possibly the Casio DH200 horn up there,
Right.
which is
I don't know how to look up that.
yeah. Yeah,
Someone else can.
it is MIDI. It is MIDI, so it must be post 83.
Yeah.
I don't know how long post 83. It looks like late 80s or something. But yeah, that's probably the oldest one. And then I think, apart from the Ensoniqs, and then I think I jumped to the Nord Lead 1. I think that's where I'm at, which I think was 996, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So there's a bit of a jump.
They're the oldest ones.
Bit of a jump there. Right. Just before I go on to you, Darren, just chatties, if you guys want to let me know what's oldest synth you guys have got in chat, just make sure you highlight my name so I can be flagged, and that way we can read it out to everyone else. Beautiful. All right, Darren, your turn. Oldest synth.
Mine probably be the Juno 6, I would say. Juno 6, then the SH101, and I'm not sure on the age, but the Akai SO1 sampler. Now, I don't know if that was newer than the S900 or what, so one of those two samplers. And the Lacy MMT8 sequencer. So they're the oldest sort of gear.
Okay. SH101 would be 1981. Is that right? 1981? I forget now.
Yeah, 81, 82, yeah. The Juno 6 is
81. Yours is a 6, so 81, yeah.
the Akai S01. I'm not sure about that. That's something I don't know the age of.
The Juno 6
A rack
is... Let's do the Juno 6 first. That's 82. And SH101, I think, is 81. I'm just going to double check that. 83. Okay, I didn't know it was that old, that young. Sorry. 83 for the SH101. And what was the other one? The Akai...
S01 sampler.
S01? Oh, yeah. Okay, this one is a bit newer. This is 93.
Is it? Oh, right. Right. I thought it probably must come out then, yeah, because I've got the S900, so...
8 voices, 16-bit, 32K linear, 1 meg of memory, upgradable to 2 meg with the XMO1. What else? 16 MIDI channels, produced in 1993. There you go. Fantastic.
That's my
Fantastic. All right, my turn. And we're just waiting on the chatties to come and get a few more in. All right, my turn. Here we go, this button. So my oldest synth, I actually had to kind of work it out because I actually thought it was something else, but it's not. Is the Korg EX800, which is the desktop module version of the Poly 800. And if I remember rightly, that was 84. So that's my oldest. And then closely followed by ESQ1, DX7 II, and there's something else. I keep forgetting what the other thing is. There's another thing. Anyway, there's the Roland MKS70, which is the Super JX. So they all sit around the 86 mark, and then there's that one that sits a little bit earlier. So 84, it's not. I was a bit disappointed actually. I thought I had something a bit older than that. But yeah, so I was in my teens in 84, so it's not that old in my opinion anyway. Okay, chatties. Who said first? So Axelsoft has a Seal Orchestra, in other words, aka ARP Quartet 79. Inverted Popes has got a Korg MS10. Big shout out to IP too. Awesome having him here. Howard's got a Casio CZ101, an M1, a D50. What year was the D50? That was 87, wasn't it? Was that 87?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I've got a D550, which is the same. DX100, I think it's a bit newer. Yeah. What else did he say? Wave Station and Broken Moog Prodigy bought at Radio. Oh yeah, the Radio Shack one, beautiful. Andy knows that he's got a 81 Pro 1. Jupiter 6 from Corrosive Abuser. What that noise? I don't know what that noise is. It's coming from one of you guys.
Sorry, that's me. That's my cat knocking over things.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
And you've frozen. Your video's frozen too, Andrew.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll restart.
All right, get on the video. I'll bump up you. Everyone will log on for a
Oh,
cat.
the crickets have gone now, so it wasn't my crickets.
Yeah, they stopped.
Yeah, that must have been Andrew. Andrew's crickets.
Who's got the oldest books on synths? I have this one from around 84, 83. It describes MIDI. It was a Bible for me.
Right. Who wrote that? Just sorry, let me just get rid of your name thing. Doesn't actually say completed. No, it says Keyboard Magazine. Okay, cool. Fantastic. Just have a look inside, Heinrich, and tell us if there was anything about an author or anything like that. I'd be interested to know if it's anyone famous. Who wrote that? Yeah. Anyone got anything older than 78? Looks like. Hang on. A list of authors here.
Not sure. I'll check another page.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone there. Get your hands over it. There we go.
Yeah, I know.
Go the other way.
The other way.
And down. Yeah, just Keyboard Magazine. So anyone who probably just a whole bunch of people at Keyboard Magazine at the time. Yeah.
Fair enough. Editors of Keyboard Magazine, it says.
Yeah. It's a collection from a lot of authors. Come on. Bob Moog and...
I'm just scrolling back to see what Native VS wrote, and I can't see because it's not flagged. Korg 700. Okay, so Native VS has got a Korg 700. Very good. Very good. It's not like you win a prize or anything. You've got the oldest synth, you win a prize.
A repair bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting, like how old your synths are. I mean, one thing I will admit is I've probably repaired my ESQ1 at least 3 times since I've had it, and I've only had mine for 5 years. So it's not always going to be this case, but if you're going to go down the route of getting old stuff, you may be heading down the proverbial rabbit warren to have to fix it all the time. Unless you fix it like beautifully in one hit sort of thing and go and recap it and, you know, refurbish the power supply and replace all the chips and, you know what I mean? Like if you do that, you might be fine. But yeah, if you're just sort of fixing a fault as it comes up, you could be doing that quite often.
And that's one of the main reasons why I haven't delved into anything older than kind of the 90s. Because I think the digital synths, I mean, they can still break and stuff, but like if you're working with like old school analog, like that can get pretty expensive to fix and be a big headache. So that's me personally why I don't have anything older than the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your first synth that you bought, Marshall? While I've got you there. What was the first one?
Oh, my first synth was technically it was an MS-2000. But I took it back like a couple days later and got an SH-201 instead. I kind of swapped them because I didn't know what I was doing at the time, and the SH-201 seemed a little easier to use. So that was kind of my first synth.
So like early 2000s.
It was like 2006.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
'Cause before that, I was all software. I was using like trackers and stuff, and then I got into these, and then I got into Pro Tools and started buying hardware. So and that was my first hardware synth.
Does the Poly N tracker interest you at all?
It's funny you mention that because I actually have one.
Oh, did you just get one? Did you?
No, I've had it for a while. I haven't used it yet though.
Oh, okay.
I gave it a little play around for like a day or two, but I haven't really sat down and worked on that. I've had a lot of other stuff obviously come in, like the
bigger
beautiful
things.
Prophet 10 and yeah. So yeah, I think the Poly-N tracker is super cool.
It is definitely. We'll have to do a collab thing with that coming up because it's fun. It's a lot of, it brings back memories, like you said, your tracker days and my tracker days. So you'll be right at home with that, definitely. Okay, so Andrew, your video is cleared up, so we'll go to you. Beautiful. What was your first synth that you ever had?
I can't remember if I bought the Alesis QS6 or the Yamaha CS1X. I bought one of the two, I can't remember, but I do remember I know it was the CS1X because I bought it and I had no idea what I was doing, and I went, it doesn't do what I thought it should do, which was stupid now looking back on it. And so I swapped it for a QS6, which I didn't actually like very much because it was very Rompler based. Yeah, it was very Rompler based, and it was like, it's okay, but again didn't do what I wanted. And then I think I returned both of them over periods of time, and that's when I ended up with the Nord lead. And yeah,
massive difference between a CS1X and a Nord lead, though.
Oh, absolutely. And I bought that and K5000S at the same time. Yes. And I've had two. Yeah, I've had two CS1Xs since, and again they've been short-lived throughout the house before I've passed them on.
It's funny because it's at like the exact same chassis as the AN1X.
It is, yeah.
But I'm curious, like, do you guys, what's the difference between the two? Because I have an AN1X, but I've never had a CS1.
So the difference is the
tenfold.
The AN is a VA, so it's like a virtual analog, and it's the whole thing is about an analog sort of modeling system, whereas the CS1X is like a Rompler. It literally is a Rompler. So and a pretty bad, very techno sort of, early mid '90s techno sort of What Yamaha thought everyone should be doing is techno music.
It was based on the XG sound set.
Everyone should be doing techno music, Ramsey.
Nothing wrong with techno music. No, I'm a techno person. Nothing wrong with techno music. But it's what Yamaha thought everyone thought should be doing techno. It's Yamaha's opinion.
Which was in silver.
Like Andrew was correct. It's based on the XG. So you had General MIDI, and then Yamaha brought out XG, which is kind of like a sound set that they added on. I went absolutely nuts into XG when it came out. I was fully into it. I had XG Edit on my PC and all the XG stuff because I had a CS1X. I've also got a sound module too called a Roland a Yamaha MU1000, which is actually an XG sound module. It's sitting in the cupboard. And I went crazy into XG. So that's probably why I got the CS1X at the time. So that was my second synth, Andrew. So that was good that you brought that up. There you go.
Okay.
Bit of similarities. Okay. Darren, your first synth you ever bought?
It might be. I think it's the XP50, the Roland XP50.
Yeah.
And not long after that, it was the Yamaha AM1X.
I remember you telling me a story about the XP50 that you went into a shop and you saw it or something,
Well-
and you came back. You might have to
No,
refresh my memory.
the XP50. Well, the story on the XP50 is, I went into the shop to start, to buy a keyboard, and I came out with a whole studio setup, including a Mac G3.
He was a good salesperson, that guy. What's his name?
Yeah, that guy got a lot of,
Give him a pat on the back.
got some commissions there, huh?
I was just getting into music. I thought, I really want to give this a try. And I'd seen the XP50, and I thought, I quite like this as a workstation. And I came out with an XP50, a G3 Mac with screen, and the S3000 XL sampler. I don't know what happened. I know I was paying off for a while because I was paying it on HP at the time.
That's hilarious.
So that's why I can't get rid of those equipment.
Because you still feel like you're burdened by them.
Yeah. I don't know what I was doing, but I thought I could make some music with this, and the funny story I think was the Raven. When I brought that on the train, and they wrapped it in a box for me. Well, sort of. It was bouncing down the rain, and I had to get from Birmingham back up north on the train with this. They're not light, the Ravens, and it was sort of like wrapped in cardboard. It wasn't really a box, and they just sellotape together. But because I was on foot and it was raining, the box was getting wetter and wetter, so it was becoming more of a mush round the synth rather than an actual box. So it was just slipping out of my hands and everything. Luckily, there's a plastic bags inside to keep the synth dry, but yeah, it was just like a wet, mushy box from a variety of places, just sellotaped together with packing tape that was just coming undone as I slowly got back to my home. I think it was about a 2-hour journey as well because the train was late, so I stood on the station in the rain. So that was fun.
Right.
And I've kept that as well. So
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you ever went to like a music shop and you bought a synth, like that feeling that you had, like you was like a little kid, you was like a candy shop, wasn't it? You were so excited. That feeling, I can remember the first time. I mean, there's a video I've done on my channel about what synth it is. It's the Roland XP10, and but what I didn't talk about is the feeling that I had at the shop. And I just remember going through and looking at all the different synths and everything that they had there. And obviously, you'd love to buy something bigger and better and more expensive. But obviously, when you're young and you haven't got money, you have to get whatever you can afford. And in my case, Darren, I was in the same situation as you. I wanted to get a Roland XP something or other, and they had obviously XPs 80s, they had XP 50s, they had XP 60s, whatever they were, right? All these different XPs, right? And the only one I could afford was an XP 10, so I had to get the little baby one. But I used it to death. That thing, I've still got it. It's sentimentally, that's why I've still got it, not because I use it anymore. But it's that little feeling that you've got when you're buying a synth and you take it home, and it's actually pretty cool. Good times. Now, who hasn't told me about their first synth? I think did we do Henrik? Did we do you? I can't remember.
Yes, the first one was the VL1, but it was not a synth. I would not call it a synth, even though it had a little synth engine calculator.
When did you get it?
Around 79, 80.
Wow.
But,
so you've
but
had
the
that
first
since
one
new?
I purchased, yes. But the first one I purchased for my own money, this was probably my dad's money. The first one I purchased for my own money was a Poly 800 in 85, I think.
Yep, around there, yep. What did you think of the Poly 800?
I liked it. It was great for strings and things like that. It wasn't the attack wasn't fast enough for good basses.
Mm.
But we had a band where we had a 6-track and 2 pulley 800s, and it worked. It worked fine.
Right.
But after a year or something, we bought more synths, 106 and later an Emax 2 and my Mirage and some other stuff. We had a Jupiter 4 too. It was really out of tune. It was very difficult to use, but it was a lovely sound, but we couldn't use it. It wouldn't work for live gigs. That was not possible.
What was happening? The oscillators had a problem, did they, with the tuning?
Yeah, they detuned totally. It wasn't in tune. It was impossible to play out.
Fantastic. Wow. There you go. 79, you've held it all and you've looked after it all those years. Well done to you. Hats off to you, definitely. That's a good effort. I mean, it's 1979, I was only a young lad. I was, single digit age that period of my life, and I can't even remember.
I actually got a book in the late 70s for synthesizer. My dad wanted me to build a Formant synthesizer from Electronics magazine.
Right.
Wow. But I never got to build it. But it was a great book.
Have you still got the book?
Drawing. Somewhere, yes.
Wow. Should see if you can pull it out. You never know. It might have some interesting circuit designs in there. I mean, like there was that Moog thing they released. Was it last year, the Formant thing that they released? Did it ever come to fruition, that Moog thing with all the Formant filters in it? That was actually pretty cool.
But I think you can find that book on the net. I've found some diagrams from it last year, I think.
Okay.
So it is online.
Yeah. There was also a Dreadbox thing that they brought out, Eurorack module, which had Formant stuff in it as well. But yeah, so that's really cool stuff. You were getting into that in the 70s. That was awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah, I was 13 or 14.
Wow. Oh, yeah, we're getting into the electronics. Yeah. I think that's like a lot of us, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Yeah. Touch the soldering iron, get the bug. Yeah. It's a cool thing. I built a theremin in the very early, I think it would have been 1980s. And it wasn't a proper theremin. It was a kit. Andrew, you probably remember Electronics Australia, the magazine, right?
Yeah.
So it was an Electronics Australia project, and I think you had to go to an electronics shop to buy the kit. And it was either Dick Smith or Tandy's or someone like that. Yeah. And so I built this theremin project, and my neighbour across the road from me, he was an electronics engineer, and he had this amazing setup, like this. He had a control room where he had you had like dust control. You'd go in there and had the sticky thing where your shoes, you'd crawl over it with your shoes and you would take all the dust off you. It was insane what this guy had in his like built in the back of his garage basically. So I went in there and I made this thing with all these resistors and capacitors and he's using his soldering on. He was teaching me how to solder, and it was like a bit of a train wreck, the first kind of soldering project I did, but it actually worked. I don't know where it is now. It's probably in the bin somewhere on some landfill, but it did work.
I just remember I did build a keyboard in 73 or 74, but it was in Lego.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
well, that's cool. I had a Lego kit.
I was my first.
Did you just pretending?
Did it actually work?
Yeah.
Or pretending.
Was it a real kit?
Pretending. Yeah.
Okay.
Axelsoft's got a question for us, or me, or whoever. Question: favorite live rig multi-synth gig setup? Question mark. So favorite live rig or multi-synth gig setup? That's a good question. So what do you like to play live? What's your rig? And he's saying for him, for years, was the W30, the Juno 60, the O1W, and the Monopoly. Wow, that's actually a pretty interesting sort of array of gear. So we can do that. We can ask, what's your favorite sort of synth gig setup? Now, out of us here, hands up who's played live. So I'll put my hand up. Anyone else played live? Andrew? Henrik. Okay, so we'll start with, we'll go back to you, Henrik. What's your favorite sort of rig setup that you would have?
I don't know. I love the Hydrosynth. I also just got Moog X, and I love that too. And when I get to learn the Moog X, I think it would be really great together with the Hydro and perhaps the Medusa. I'm not sure about the Force. It's not. It's great, but it doesn't inspire me.
Right.
So
it's got to inspire you, mate. It's definitely got to inspire you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do Christmas trees on it though, like I did, if that helps.
Yeah. That's right.
Very expensive Christmas tree.
Right.
I've even seen some have ported a game to it, so you can play a game on it.
Yeah, like Tetris with all the
Tetris,
pads.
yeah.
All right, Andrew. What's your rig setup?
Well, when I did live was a long time ago. I haven't done it for recently. And I was the terrible vocalist that we never ever need to. There's luckily no footage of this that anyone else ever needs to see. But what do we have? We had. I'm trying to remember now. I think we ended up. That we had, I think that's when we had the CS1X. One of the other people in the band had the CS1X, and that we're using that. And then we were working off backing, and we went through this sort of horrible range of different things that we tried for backing that never really quite worked. And I think the most successful backing we had was tape, because we tried mini disc and that skipped. We tried CD players and that skipped, and then we actually used to take the computer out, and that used to crash on stage. And yeah, so since then, I think later on I used to take the RM1X out, and that was good fun because you could kind of mix things up a little bit.
A bit more reliable too.
And it was very reliable. That was actually good fun. And I think I used to take a few of the keyboards out, but I was never really happy with them. I took the K5000 out a few times, but it was like this. It was heavy. And the problem with the K5000 is unless you've got some kind of compressor on it, it really just destroys the mix. And so that was it was a bit of an unfortunate experience, actually. I'm hoping to get back out again once everything kind of opens up a bit more. And that's trying to use that rig that's sort of behind me, which is kind of a bit more subtle and can actually mix with other people who are playing other instruments as well. So
What's in that rig? What do you have back there?
It's just a small rig at the moment. It's got it's a wobble cam, but I've got the Microfreak, the Deluge. I've got the Polydigit for doing effects, and the other thing that's you can't quite see on there is I've got a Nord 3P, which I really love.
Nice.
It's a good portable, I can get it around rig, and that's the main reason that I have it.
Yep.
I have other things that obviously. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say that'll almost fit in a backpack.
Yeah. So that's actually all on a mounted, and I can literally just pick that up with one hand and take it around. And and I've got it all rigged up so that all of it's synced, and all the MIDI. I can manage everything, and I have all of the sound going into the deluge so I can affect it and stuff like that. So I don't even need to take a mixer. But it's a nice little rig. That's what I was using tonight, actually. It was good fun.
Yeah, one of the
cool.
show topic suggestions I've had given to me, it might have been you, Andrew, that suggested this, was to do a show on like mobile setups. So portable setups, what you can do, what sort of portable setup. So we'll probably do that early in the new year, I reckon. And I've got some ideas about how we can actually run the show. I'm actually thinking about doing the show from a like a live setup, and we'll use something like StreamYard or something to run the show instead of this setup here. And I can actually have it like a battery powered sort of gig setup to show you guys. I want to just run a couple of. We'll go back to you guys in a sec with some of your suggestions for your rigs, but a couple of comments in the chat as we've been going. So Inverted Popes has said his favorite live rig was the Fender Rhodes, the Mini Moog, and that illustrious Mini Moog. You need to get that back, mate. We should set up a GoFundMe page or something for him. And the Korg Monopoly. And geez, that Monopoly is looking pretty handsome at the moment from Behringer, isn't it? So apparently the keyboard, Jamie was saying the keyboard on it's a bit naff though. Anyway, Andrew Brooks said the W30 Pro 1. So if you we showed Andrew's gig setup. Really talented gentleman, this guy. So W30 Pro 1, SH101, Boss DR660, Mackie mixer, the CR1604, the Zoom 9120, Atari ST, and Cubase Heaven, he reckons. Okay, Atari ST, Cubase, wow. And then we've got Howard said live performance with rock band Phantom 6, good old Roland Phantom 6, VR 720, Mod X6, nice, and a System 8. So solo uses Kronos, Wave State, System 8, and Korg Prodigy. Some nice new stuff in there. Andrew is saying count me in for the live setup. Cool. All right. Now, my setup that I had a couple of different sort of live things that I did over the years. So, I mean, probably the early days, I would just play piano. So that was pretty easy. We would just go somewhere where there'd be a piano and I'd just play that. But moving sort of further into the future, I used to do backing guitar for a rock band. So we used to play like AC/DC songs and stuff like that. But when you're doing rhythm guitar or backing guitar, so you want the lead guitarist, one of the things that you also get lumbered with is doing things like synth fills, and I used to use my XP10 or my CS1X live on stage, so depending on which concert we'd play. And so I'd look after the mixing, I'd do the synth fills, and I'd do the rhythm guitar, and I was probably busier than anyone else in the band because I had all of that going, trying to get it all working. And then you'd hear, like, people would swear at you because they couldn't hear themselves, front of house, back of house. Yeah, back at good old days when you didn't have a sound guy. So that was early days. It probably just like it just. I've still got my guitars here. The my rhythm guitar that I used was a Kramer, the old Bon Jovi type Kramer guitar, and a Fender, just a standard Fender Strat. And I've had a few Fender Strats over the years. The one I've got now is pretty similar looking, but it's the Roland one that I use with the GR55. Yeah, and then kind of more recently would be the in the early 2000s I used the there was kind of a photo of me in my home setup recently that I put on social media where I had Electribes. This is kind of where Andy Brooks is kind of similar. The old Electribes. I had a Roland MC505. So this is getting into techno, Marshall, and what else? CS1X was my keyboard, and just trying to think. Behringer mixer, still got it. Actually pulled it off a shelf when we did the move, and I dusted it off, and I thought, wow, I've still got this old mixer from like the 90s. This old Behringer mixer. Everyone craps on Behringer, how crap they are. I bet you if I turn it on and plug it in, I bet you it still works. I bet you it still works. And everyone's crapping on Behringer. What else? And I had a couple of like effects pedals. So one of the, like everyone goes and talks about kind of the general stuff. The effects pedals that I had, I actually find hard to find these days, and I'm really lucky I've still got them. So I've got a Marshall Shredmaster, which I swear to this day, that is amazing effects pedal. Now you're supposed to use it with a guitar, but you plug a synth into that, and that thing it distorts the absolute crap out of your synth, and it's awesome. You can get some really, really cool, like grungy sounding synth stuff out of it. So Marshall Shredmaster, if you can ever find one, they're an analog pedal. What's the other one I used? Small Stone Phaser to the hilt. That's my go-to pedal. And my reverb, I just used so in the early days, would have been just a DOD, like a cheap digital crappy pedal that I would have had because that's what I could afford. But these days, I've obviously got Boss pedals and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that was mine. Good old Roland XP10 or CS1X. Still here. Can't believe it. There we go. Anyone else? Nope. Good. All right, well, we've been going for about an hour and 50 minutes. We're getting close to the end of the show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. It's been an interesting show talking about really just nothing, just synths and just sort of, being a bit more relaxed. I think it's good fun. Massive big thank you to all the video callers here. So we'll start with Darren. I just wanted to give you a personal message. Big thank you for all your support, mate, over the couple of years you've been on the show. Much appreciate everything. You come on regularly. It's a thankless thing. I'm just giving you some thanks now. So Merry Christmas to you and your lovely wife, and best wishes for the new year, and hopefully 2021 will be good for you.
Thank you very much, and the same to you, Rans. Although I'm sure we'll see each other before the New Year's up, I think.
I think there might be one more show. We'll see if we can get one in. We'll see how we go. Who's next on this? Who's next?
Thank you very much.
Henrik, beautiful having you on, mate. I know we've been talking about you coming on for a while. Now that you've broken the ice, so to speak, so you can now feel more comfortable. You can come on anytime you like. We loved having you on. It was awesome talking about some of your old gear that you have. Of course, it's nice to talk about new gear as well, of course. And obviously, we'd love to sort of follow your new studio moving and reconfiguring plan. So that's obviously going to be something that we're all going to be interested in following. And obviously, thank you so much for being a patron of mine, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. And obviously, thank you so much for your support as well. Much appreciated. And obviously, have an awesome new year. Hopefully, 2021 will be good for you as well. Over to you. Just
I think this moving around will last for the rest of my life. It's it's a never ending story. So
it is, yeah.
So, but Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to all of you. And one thing, I placed a link in the chat for the streaming. So if you look at that, Rancy, then you may want to share it. It's or play it. It's a video from my very old band from '87 or something. It's quite funny.
Where did you paste it? In Discord?
In the mix call chat.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find that. Wow.
Yeah.
Everything's keep talking. I'll see if I can dig that up for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yep.
Yes. But about plans, I'm part of something called ESC, which is European Sound Collective. We make patches for Omnisphere and the new Synapse Obsession plugin, all those plugins, and we also make for synths. Not much, but we are doing it. We have a lot of plans next year. and I will say more.
Wow, exciting! So there's some things to look forward to. Fantastic. All right. What else can we go to the next one, which is Andrew? Big happy Christmas to you, mate. Also, once again, thank you for supporting me and my channel over the many months that you've been with us now, and a lot of the MIDI knowledge that you've passed across to everyone else who watches. Merry Christmas to your family. Happy New Year. Hope the next year is going to be awesome for you. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Rans, and look, thank you for doing the shows too. I mean, it's. I know how much work you put into it, so I must admit, though, thank you for doing all that. And yeah, you have a good Christmas and New Year's, and have a good. Are you taking a break? Are you doing another show this next week, or what's? Do you know what you're doing at this point?
I actually don't. You're putting me on the spot, and I actually don't have an answer. I may or may not.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, if you don't, then have a great New Year's and, have a few beers.
Absolutely. I definitely will be doing that. Definitely with that. Marshall, you're never not last but not least ever. Thanks for coming on. I know you've been on a few times now, and I really do enjoy having you on because we kind of think similarly. So, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and I hope the new year is going to be better for you as well. We've had a tough year this year, so yeah, over to you, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. It's always a pleasure, and your channel has been a huge help for me. Like I said, I found you with the MX1 mixer breakdown that you did, and that really is extremely helpful. You have like a great amount of technical knowledge, and I just really appreciate your channel, and I appreciate being on. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas also.
That's lovely of you to say. Thank you very much, mate. And I think we can't discount a couple of other people, of course, who are regularly on the show, and they're in the chat room as well. So we'll start with Inky. Lisa, Merry Christmas to you. One of the first people that came on as a video caller. Really cherish having you on the show. So hopefully we can get you back soon. We just had you just recently, so we can get you back on soon. That'd be awesome. And hope next year will be a really cool year for you as well. Really enjoying your music that you've been doing lately. So keep that up. Absolutely. We're all watching. So that's for you, Inky. And Andrew Brooks, also to you, mate. Another regular, and a massive Merry Christmas to you as well. And once again, sorry we couldn't squeeze you on. There was only not enough room for 4, but we'll get you on next week or next show, whatever that is. So big Happy New Year and all that sort of stuff for you as well. Hope it all goes well. Keep the MPC1 learning going, and whatever you can get out with that, mate. Awesome. And to everyone else, Wagoo, Aziohead, Axelsoft, all the regular people, Inverted Popes, that come in here, and I'm not specifically missing you on purpose, but everyone that's regular here every week, much appreciate your support, and Merry Christmas. Thanks to all those who did the super chat today as well. We've got Mark and Howard and Inverted Popes and Wagoo, and I'm forgetting people, Jamie Geosynths, Human Error, and if I've forgotten anyone, please just throw your synth at the screen and discuss, as I say each time. And yeah, big massive thanks to everyone who's regular on the channel. It's going to be a new year next year, and who knows what sort of stuff we can add to make this better. Who knows, the studio might inspire me to do something new. Who knows where we're going to go with it. And from Australia, on behalf of me and everyone else here, a big, massive Merry Christmas to the whole wide world, and may 2021 be the best year ever, because I'm sure we can't really go much worse than 2020. And I think from a musical point of view, I'm really dying to sort of start to see all the stuff that's going to emerge from us all being in lockdown and all the creative stuff that we've been doing this year. So yes, guys, I think that we're going to wrap it up. Fantastic. And I think we can all say hooray to everyone. And if I've missed anyone, I do apologize, but I'm kind of getting tired. It's midnight here, and yeah. Well, see you later, and say goodbye. We're going to end. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.